Quiet on set.
Roll camera.
Sound speed.
Mark, please. And action.
Welcome back to Students in Focus. I'm Katie, a student producer at the Utah Education Network. In this show, we focus on creative video work from Utah students. This week, we feature a short film, a documentary, and a filmmaker spotlight. Our first feature is Paper Cranes by Anna Liu and me. We put it together in the film apprenticeship program at Spyhop Productions. Paper Cranes is about how a student's life gets turned upside down when their classmate mysteriously begins giving them paper cranes. The film starts in black and white but slowly brightens to show that a small act of kindness can go a long way.
What would you do if you were going to talk about evil? How would you portray it? Because some could potentially believe the evil side might be kind of right. So here's what I want you guys to do, is making sure when you read Macbeth, you're following through completely, the whole way. There's a message in every line. What is he trying to portray? What is he trying to do? What is he trying to say? What does evil represent? Any of that kind of stuff. Okay, before you go, make sure you read pages 20 through 30 tonight. Make sure you take notes on that. You guys have a wonderful day.
At first glance, Macbeth seems to have everything you need the first option and nothing with the second. This is something I'd like to check. Dominated by the dark and the gloomy settings. But at first glance, he too is no ordinary figure. The main figure is actually Macbeth throughout the whole story.
In the story, what's happening in the place of the story, what is being said.
I signed up for audio apprenticeship as I wanted to expand what I could do with music and also just get to know more about how I could make it.
I signed up because I really want to do audio as a career, and this is just kind of helping further my knowledge.
I heard animation and free class.
There's this really cool place called Spy Hop, and I kind of fell in love with it. Some of the first skills I learned was how to use your voice,
as well as like how lighting works, how to build a camera and stuff like that.
I've learned to empathize with the audience more, which has helped me to draw more people in so they'd be more willing to see what something's about.
I feel like you learn a lot more than you do in like you would in a college class, because you get hands-on experience in everything that you're doing.
It's a really good environment. It's a very good community. I feel like self-expression is like really empowered here. You're not scared to be who you are around people.
The environment is so great. Everyone here is so nice and accepting, and like we're all just like trying to follow our passions and learning and growing from each other.
Everyone's great. Super happy, chaotic, fun times.
Do you have a film or media event coming up? We'd love to hear from you. Visit our website at uen.org/studentsinfocus to share with us. Up next is a piece by Apollo, another student from Spy Hop Productions. Behind the Knife is a deep dive into the life of those who have made a career making and serving the most amazing food.
I've been doing it a long time. Just taught class this morning, and I've only been teaching for about 4 months. Before that, just a real brief time as the executive chef at a place at the airport. I worked for a golf company for years that managed properties, so I've been executive chef at 5 different golf properties. And before that, I went to school in New York, grew up in New York, and went to culinary school there, and somehow ended up on the West Coast. But I like it. I like it out here a lot. I was 14 years old, and there was this bar and grill kind of close to where I lived, and I used to mow their yard and stuff, and then I'd wash dishes. But I always paid attention to what was going on in the kitchen, and it wasn't a very big place by any means, but I'd always watch what the owner, who was the chef, was doing, and then I just started stepping in for him. I remember my first plate that I ever did, and it was just like a New York strip grilled with potatoes and stuff. Real simple, but I still remember it today. It was my first executive chef job, but it was a resort that had 3 restaurants, a large banquet facility. They did close to $8 million a year in food revenue alone, and I got hired on to run one of the restaurants. And in my first 6 months there, the executive chef had left, his sous chef left, and I was left holding the reins pretty much, and I ran it for about 3 years, and I was a year and a half out of culinary school, way too young to have that much responsibility. But the key thing was, made a lot of mistakes, but learn from them. And that's the key, not just in the chef world, but just in life in general. I mean, you're going to make mistakes, but it's important to be able to change your trajectory, especially when it comes to food. Figure out what you did wrong and be better next time. Things that I always think makes me marketable to a variety of places. I've always had good fiscal responsibility. I've made revenues for a lot of places, and that's super important. You got to be good with numbers, and I'm a good numbers chef, and I'm a good PR person. I like to make myself marketable in those ways. I think to be a good chef, you need to have that competitive personality to you. You have to, I think the most important thing is, you have to have a good life outside of work. Don't lose your sight of what's important. If you have kids, play with your kids. Make sure you have time to do a lot of things that you can do. But when you put on the chef coat and you go into work, you got to be committed. You really do. And you got to be tough. And you've got to be able to want to be better every day.
First memory in the food, so I always cook stuff for my baby. So it's the crab, because my baby, they love the crab. So that's why I opened Melissa Crab and Coffee House. You know, running a restaurant is very hard. You see, you need to pay a rent, you need to pay food costs, you need to pay like the fee for people working, and you need to pay like lecture or something. And then if you don't have enough customer, and if you don't make your customer happy, they go away. Then you didn't make any money, but you're still doing that every day. So my husband, he is a sushi chef before, and he said because the place he's working is very expensive sushi. So one day he tell me, he say, I want everyone afford the sushi. So he put like 50% sushi on his restaurant. So, but we want people, they like everyone can afford it. So, and they can take the, because our sushi, I think it's good. So my advice is you need to keep doing that. Sometimes we feel tired, and sometimes maybe like something happened, we want to give up. But we always try to like achieve our goal. Yeah, just don't give up. Just do something you want to do, and then one day you will see you will be successful.
When people think of Sundance, they think of a world of independent films and filmmakers. But they're all a part of something much, much bigger. At the heart of it all is the Sundance Institute, a nonprofit arts organization that supports extraordinary artists, their culture-shifting work, and connects them with passionate audiences. We're a global stage for independent storytellers, and we amplify the impact of their work in the world. We discover next-gen voices and provide the resources they need to bring their stories to life. We support artists who are building new realities to explore. And we connect emerging storytellers everywhere with decades of experience and expertise. The Sundance Institute is bringing together artists, film lovers, educators, funders, and industry to evolve our world through stories.
We're looking for student-produced films and videos to feature on TV. Learn more at uen.org/studentsinfocus to have your media considered for an upcoming episode of Students in Focus. For our final piece, we have a filmmaker spotlight. I got to meet Katie Beacom, who is currently an associate producer for a true crime show called Unscripted. Katie graduated from the University of Utah Film Program in 2021 and now lives in LA to pursue her film career.
I'm Katie, and right now I'm an associate producer for an unscripted show. My interest in film was sparked when I was pretty young. My friends got camcorders for Christmas when I think we were like 7 or 8, and we started making pretty terrible horror films, and from then on I kind of was more interested in like storytelling and media creation, and that kind of never stopped. I've been taking film classes since I was, a little kid, ever since like middle school, and doing film programs like Spy Hop and stuff like that, and then film classes in high school. And then I went to Slick before I transferred over to the U and took some film classes there, got my general's associates, and then at the U took some more specialized classes that kind of helped me figure out what specifically I wanted to do. One of the first sets I got on after graduating was through a U alumni who was, I think, working as a producer and I had never met him, but I reached out to him and he put me in touch with someone and I got on a commercial set. Then from that, working with that director and producer and grip, I got on other projects through them. So it can be a snowball effect for sure. Just like once you start getting on set, it only goes up from there. Right now I'm working on a true crime show. I love working on stuff like that. Unscripted is, it's fun to be on the kind of research and story side of unscripted shows, and I love true crime, so it's great for me. As an AP, it's a lot of like office work and scheduling, research, finding locations. It depends on the project. I haven't been on set for this one. Sometimes you are. It's kind of the research and assisting in your supervisor in story building. My favorite thing about my job is that it's different every day, and the requirements and the day-to-day just change depending on the project and what phase you're in. So it doesn't get monotonous. It's just a lot of fun. I think a good producer is prepared and knows the project they're working on, and bonus points if they're a people person who can work with the crew and the clients and, you know, just make it an easier environment to work in. I feel like the role of producer looks different depending on the genre. Like producers in unscripted are really working with the story. Producers in commercial are working with the clients. Producers in fiction are probably pulling their hair out trying to get that funding. But it varies. It's not quite as straightforward as like director of photography or you know, what I do a lot, like grip and electric. I love APing and learning more about producing, and also I love working on a crew. So a great thing about film is you can kind of float around and figure out which direction you want to go. I'm still figuring it out. I love grip and electric, I love APing, and we'll see where those lead. The advice I would give a student looking to get into film and TV as a career is to get as much experience as possible on any project, any set. Just get on your classmates' sets, figure out what department you're interested in, ask a lot of questions, take classes pertaining to that department, and kind of just get as much experience as possible. And then when you graduate, I would recommend getting as much professional experience as you can right out the gate.
Calling all student filmmakers. The Utah Film Center and the Utah Education Network have teamed up to bring you the second annual Tumbleweeds Kids Film Competition. Join us for a week full of student film screenings, panel discussions, workshops, speakers, and more. If you would like a chance for your film to be featured at the festival, and you're a Utah student in kindergarten through 8th grade, create a short film, 5 minutes or less, about any topic that interests you. Submissions must be received by March 1st, 2024. Prizes and awards will be announced at the Tumbleweeds Film Festival on April 19th at the Viridian Event Center in West Jordan. For more information, a full list of contest rules, and a schedule of festival events, visit tumbleweedskids.org/film-competition. We can't wait to see you on the red carpet.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Students in Focus. Make sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the next episode. And you can check out past episodes at UENVideo. And hey, did I mention you can submit your project to be featured here on Students in Focus? See you next time.